Oh my god, best semi-final ever! Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer, and I'm so excited and ready to share my thoughts. It was such a good night. Tell me down in the comments who's your favorite to start out. Oh, here we go tonight. Pink joins The Voice for the first time as a mentor. 8 contestants compete for only 4 spots tonight. Tomorrow 4 will be going home. I think what they're gonna do is the bottom 2 are gonna go home, the top 3 are gonna go home, and that leaves 3. So 3 will sing for the instant save. Oh my god, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Each artist will perform a song by themselves and then a duet with another artist. TeamAdam started out with Shalyah doing "And I Am Telling You." Oh, Dreamgirls, let me tell you, they put up Jennifer Hudson, but you cannot forget the original Jennifer Holiday. Pink said she has the most beautiful voice she's heard in her entire life and loves her rasp. Adam told her to save the rasp and to budget her breath. I absolutely love this song. I've done Dreamgirls, 2 different productions, one on tour with Mickey Howard. But anyway, I've heard some big divas do this song, getting multiple ovations throughout the show, and Shalyah just took it there. Loved her look and her intent as she started. Great attitude and fit her voice well. The hurt and pain in her eyes as she went into the bridge was moving, and she handled the big long notes really well. This was a marathon and she made it to the end masterfully. All the coaches stood for her. Christina said she was singing for her life, and called her fearless. Pharrell said it's a lot to sing, comprehend, and communicate, and he mentioned her amazing endurance. Then we had our first duet of the night. It was Adam Wakefield and Alisan Porter. They did "Angel from Montgomery" by Prine, and this started really laid back and relaxed with Alisan crooning into the mic and Adam playing guitar. He took his solo, and then they had a really nice tender harmony moment. This was a surprisingly good match, and they both shined while she tapped into the emotion very well. I enjoyed it. Did you? Tell me down in the comments. TeamBlake was up next with Paxton Ingram. He did "I'd Do Anything for Love But I Won't Do That" by Meatloaf. Pink gave him some line readings and told him to really connect to the lyrics. She also told him she wanted to see him get angry. So this sounded good in his voice as he started with his distinctive sound. For me, he had on the worship leader charisma for the more up-tempo section, which fits him really well, but I wasn't really touched by this performance as I've been by some of his other performances. Really good performance, loved the tempo changes, he made it his own, and great emotion on the last section. Christina mentioned his energy and energetic smile and said he had her so entertained. Pharrell thought it was very theatrical and said he'd be good on Broadway. He also said Paxton harnesses the rock tunes really well. And if you think I harnessed the commentary really well, please make sure to thumb it up and let me know that you are enjoying it. We're almost to the end. Oh my god, who's gonna win? I really care so much about these guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying with me, and thank you for your thumbs. TeamAdam was up next with Laith Al-Saadi. He did "One and Only" by Adele. What, Adele? Oh, go ahead on, boy. Adam wanted to put a certain stop in the music and also told him to try a note he was having a hard time hitting, and Pink told him to clench his butt cheeks and he'd be able to hit it, which is kind of funny, you know, and singers do all kind of crazy stuff. You know, if it works for you, you keep using it. If it doesn't, then you don't. So whatever. Laith gave us the great, if sedate, guitar intro we've come to expect, and this really had a churchy blues feel. His voice sounded good on the melody, and I couldn't hear the voice of Adele as he was singing, which is always good. Then he rebuffed Blake's comment and took a brief guitar solo before wailing away on the ending, and nothing in this sounded too high for him. He was saying in rehearsal that one note was too high for him, and he sounded very comfortable and grounded throughout. Blake told him it was beautiful singing and the guitar solo worked, and admitted he was wrong. Pharrell just asked the audience to keep supporting Laith's success story. The next duet was Bryan, Bautista, and Mary Sarah. They did "Break Free" by Ariana Grande, and Mary started out a little thin on this while Bryan had a little more heft and weight. This was another interesting song choice, but didn't work as well as the previous one. They looked good in all white, and Mary Sarah eventually relaxed into her voice. At first she was kind of sounding like Ariana, but Bryan was often kind of forced up in the top. It sounded, he was working hard for those high notes. He did a good job, but it wasn't his best vocal. Team Christina was up next with Alisan Porter. She did "Desperado" by the Eagles, and Pink called her interpretation the bee's knees. Christina told her not to do all the embellishments though. And you know, Christina tell you to pull back on the embellishments that you over embellishing, right? There was a beautiful hanging flower set for Alisan with flowers all over the floor and the piano. Loved her tone and the ring through the space as she started this with piano. I always feel like she has a personal connection to the lyrics and brings her own special phrasing to each song. I was surprised that she didn't take the high road through a lot of this. She kind of kept it low until almost near the end, and then near the end she really wailed away on it. But she kept most of it in her like mid-high range, not really high. Wonderful performance as usual. She always is great to me. Adam paused for the thunderous applause, then said that Alisan can be everything in a way that connects to the performance and the song and the audience. Blake said it's one of his all-time favorite songs and said she made it her own. The next duet was Huston and Laith Al-Saadi. They did Knock on Wood by Otis Redding, and I was hoping Laith might lose the guitar for this, you know, so that he could connect more with the audience, but I guess it would be like kind of losing his right arm, so I understand. The song fit his voice very well. Hannah also had an easy grace and actually added her own grit to her verses. Of course, she sounded thin next to Laith, but she stayed in her lane and shined by getting cozy with the audience, really crossing the stage and, you know, really getting it to the people. I just felt like they should have turned up her mic or something, because it did seem to me like he was going to blow her off the stage, like he would have just, and she went, TeamBlake was up next with Adam Wakefield doing I'm Sorry by Blake Shelton, and Pink said it was kind of one note during his first part rehearsal, and Blake said it was too easy for him and he wanted to raise the key. Adam also came in with guitar and Blake asked him to play it on the piano alone. He also told him to hold the notes out as long as he can in the chorus every time. So this started very sparse with just Adam eating the mic, playing the piano. This was a great song choice, and it was written by Chris Stapleton, and that's the person that I think of most when I see and hear Adam perform. I like the choice of just him and the piano because it really showcased his raw, naked vocal talent. This is a moving and emotional field performance for me, and he upped the ante as the band came in near the bridge and then dropped back out for the last section. Really nice arc musically and emotionally. All the male coaches stood for him. Christina did not. Pharrell said he brings a different kind of soul to country music. Adam Levine noticed that everyone was so quiet in the audience because they were so moved by what he did. Team Christina next had Bryan Bautista. He did Hurt by Christina Aguilera, and Christina liked the lower register he showed and suggested he show more of that to people at this point. She told him not to waste his time also doing the end ad-libs and to focus on the emotion. So Bryan started this out playing the piano, and his voice was kind of shaky with emotion to start. I love the jacket lapel as he stood up all shiny, reminded me like a Luther Vandross kind of outfit. He was again giving me a Beggy Keith Sweat vibe on this. He showed great control on the high notes, keeping them bright and open and with a really nice cry in his voice. He left it all on stage tonight. Just so beautiful. All the coaches stood for him. I was about ready to grab some tissue or something. I'm glad he stopped. I'm glad he finished what he did because he might have had me in tears. Adam applauded him for being in touch with his emotions and opening up on screen. The last duet of the night was Shalyah and Paxton Ingram. They did Masterpiece by Jessie J. And I didn't recognize this song as they started it out, but Shalyah had a lot of attitude and Paxton brought his infectious energy. This didn't have the melody that I would want from the two of them, and sometimes it felt like their mics were going in and out, which was probably due to them moving around and, you know, moving the mic around with their arms. They're both really good vocalists, but this was just okay for me. There were some really good moments, there were some disjointed moments, and there was some lacking in places. TeamBlake with Mary Sarah, she did I Told You So by Randy Travis, and Pink told her that she wanted her to just be honest. Blake pointed out some things that sounded better than other things she did in the first rehearsal, and then Pink gave her a better song choice ending. So Mary started this out behind a sheaf, and she was sitting, and I don't know what was going on. It was very interesting. I was wondering what people on, you know, in the audience were thinking, like, I can't see her or something. The twang in her voice was very pronounced in a good way. It really fit the song well and provided a nice change when she hit the cleaner, more rounded notes in the melody of the title line. Loved the feel of the arrangement, and she really shined vocally and emotionally on this. Christina called it beautiful and said she felt like she's become a woman on the show. And in the pimp spot tonight, Team Pharrell had Hannah Huston do When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge, and Pink asked her if she's ever been loved like this, and then told her that she needs to be open and honest. Pharrell started arranging the music to ramp up the emotion in the performance as she went along. Hannah started this out with just like an organ sound, but just a chord for her to get into it, and then she did it a cappella, the first part a cappella, and it was a really nice choice. I felt it turning into a rock ballad as it should be. As she made her way down the runway, she was really digging into the lyrics and displayed a lot of theatricality. Pharrell was on his feet before she even finished and leaning into that last last note was exciting. I was like, you better work that stage, girl. Adam again had to wait through thunderous applause and called her one of the most consistent people from the beginning and said she's the weird stealth assassin of the show. Blake agreed with Adam and congratulated her on the performance. Woo, good Lord, everybody was so good. Well, most everybody, yeah, but everybody stepped in the game. A lot of people had their best performances so far. I don't know how America's gonna choose. Tomorrow night, make sure to join me for the bloodbath, everybody's calling it. 4 people are going home. Who do you think it will be? I'm looking forward to your comments. Now, make sure to let me know what you thought. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. I'm out.